The last and the youngest member to join the BRICS group of nations, South Africa, is again taking over the chairmanship of the club. 2023 will be the third time that the African powerhouse takes the reins following successful hostings in 2013 and 2018. As it did before, South Africa is expected to bring along not only the neighboring countries from the Southern African Development Community, but also the greater Sub-Saharan Africa community too. There will be high-level meetings, conferences and summits through this chairmanship, which will all focus on sustainable development. But what does that really mean in real terms?
Gives us an opportunity not only to advance our national interest, but also to advance the interest of the collective of the 5 countries, as well as the interest of the global South on various fronts, including advancing the African agenda, because BRICS has always been about South Africa and the African continent when we have the opportunity to chair. So we will use our chairship to build on the successes of the past presidencies in addressing some of the key challenges that we are facing and the ongoing challenges facing the global economy, including the economy of our 5 countries.
South Africa will be aiming to advance not only the BRICS agenda and the role which the new development bank should play, but also the role that the BRICS should and can play on the continent. Last year, South Africa amplified the call for the African Union to be made a permanent member of the G20 group of nations. And the varied interest that both China and Russia are having on the continent are proving that that question, once again, is not out of place.
There are 5 sovereign countries, and when we're looking at expansion of BRICS, it will be looked at from the perspective of sovereign nations wanting to join BRICS and looking at how we can take that process forward as a collective, as BRICS leaders have instructed us to do. So it's a different scenario. You already have a precedent within the G20 where a regional organization, the European Union, is a member. So there's a good case for the African Union to become a member as well.
2022 was a year of major geopolitical shifts spurred on by the Ukraine conflict. But it also set free the idea of a multipolar world following 5 decades of Western unipolarity represented by the G7. But last year also showed a growing group of countries like Saudi Arabia, Algeria, Egypt, Turkey, and many more that are keen to join and become part of the alternative to the Western hypocrisy and narrative. But BRICS should expect a rebuttal.
They will not be thinking that it'll be business as usual, because particularly in an African context, African countries are united in their quest for power, for energy, for climate justice. And I think these are the issues that they are no longer looking at the West for. They're looking eastward, because solutions will be coming from there as this formation becomes more powerful and South Africa has a stronger voice within it.
The G7 are no longer the most important and largest global economies. China and India are ranked amongst the top 7 global economies today. You can't ignore these. And so you have major economies from the global South that are growing at a faster pace. If you also look at the predictions for global growth in 2023, it's not very positive. But if you look at what the IMF and World Bank have predicted in terms of global growth, the countries of the global South, including BRICS countries, will grow at the fastest pace, while a number of countries will go into recession this year.
In its 15th year of partnership and cooperation, 2023 will be the year that BRICS propels its story forward. This club has not had a new member since South Africa back in 2011. The growing doublespeak of Western countries has seen many global South countries grow wary and eager to find an alternative. 2023 is finally here, and with it, the chance at a more bigger and powerful BRICS. Karabole Tata for RT in Johannesburg.